Jeffrey keeps getting pushed around by his friends. They keep calling him weak and even punching him. They're just messing around. We always do stuff like this. That's a cope, Jeffrey. Deep down, you know that they're not even your friends. They're abusive. They're toxic. You need a friend like Adonis. Adonis does not stand for toxic behavior. If on the rare occasion someone tries to mistreat Adonis, he immediately calls them out in a very respectful way and it all stops. They apologize. They're genuinely sorry because they know that Adonis knows how to deal with toxic people. If you click on this video, there's another video that I've done which you may really like. It's on my second channel, so I've got a second YouTube channel and it's titled They're Not Your Friends. I highly recommend you watch that one too after this one. For me personally, there's been 2 instances where I've had friends, but when I look back now, I realize that they were actually very like toxic people, quite like a little bit abusive. And I won't play the victim card because I definitely played a hand in this, but certainly I was more of a target. It's silly things like what I'm gonna say because obviously I'm grown now, I'm 25 years old, but like, you know, when you're younger, when you're 15, 14, different things matter to you. So imagine I'm 14, 15, 16, whatever. And I remember playing video games, Minecraft, League of Legends with my high school friends. And I was always like the bottom of this group. I was always treated like that. A lot of my friends, they were racist. Like they'd just openly be racist to me and stuff. And you know, it's just joking, we're all friends. And I remember just one of the things this one used to do, bro, we'd all be on Skype playing a game and he'd just remove me from the call if he got like annoyed at something. And I'd just be like, you can't come back in, you need to be added to the call. So I'd be messaging everyone, like, yeah, add me back to the call, please. And maybe one of the guys would add me in and he'd remove me again, or you know, I'd go to the toilet or something, I'd be removed. Like, it's being excluded from the group that at least for me was my experience of like toxicity. It seems very silly for me to mention what happened 10 years ago, but I'm saying it as an example because obviously there's going to be some young guys watching this, but it's all relative. So that was what was happening when I was 15, 16, 17. And then what happened when I was about 21 years old and I was in university, I was in my party, like sort of boy days. And you know, I'm just going out to parties, degenerate, taking drugs and stuff. And I'm with this group of friends that, yeah, I love them. They're like, I was blind to what was happening in this group of friends that I used to go out with. It was only when a few months had passed that I realized, like, man, this group is being toxic. So, you know, the things that would happen is like, we'd all just be going out, taking drugs together, you know, staying up to like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And eventually there's like, I started dating one of the girls and there's like beef and stuff and there's issues and, you know, like me and her are having problems so that she goes off with those friends and then they're chatting shit about me. Some of my best friends, my male best friends, telling the girl that I was dating that she should just go and that guy in the club tonight. You know, I'm not in the club for some reason. Okay, I'm at home. And one of my best friends trying to convince the girl to go off with some other guy. Imagine that. Imagine one of your best friends, pretty much your best friend, like your second best friend, literally looking at the girl that you've got feelings for, that you're dating, and saying, oh yeah, you should go this other guy right now, like trying to encourage her for her. Imagine the girl that you're dating still like being friends with this group of people that are saying this stuff to her and she's even contributing and she's even saying, yeah, he's dumb and everything. Like the entire thing was toxic, not just, you know, them, but also me. And like, you know, I'm doing toxic shit. I was a total like heartbreaker as well. So I've got to take some responsibility, but the entire thing was toxic and I did not know how to deal with toxic people. Your life experiences may not be exactly the same as mine, but you will have some kind of experience where you will think to yourself, you probably do right now, you probably know who is that toxic motherfucker in your life. And usually it's not a stranger. Usually it's not someone random. It's usually literally someone that you've let in close to you, which is why it hurts so much more, because they're in like your safe space. They are a good friend or even a family member. I saw a statistic once that said that 80% of people admit to being in some kind of toxic, abusive relationship, including, you know, dating someone or friends. 80% of people. So most people. This is what you need to do. This is advice I've never seen before because I've just made it up, but it's gonna be good, right? This is what you need to do. The person you're thinking about, you need to clarify, are they in the Jeffrey or Adonis category? Now, Jeffrey's obvious. Jeffrey means, yeah, he's just stupid. He's a bad person. He's a bully, right? And you know that's through it. Now, the thing is, Adonis could sometimes mess up. If you think about what you've heard about Adonis, you know that he could still make some mistakes. He is like the ultimate man. But even as a man, you make mistakes, you go through failures. Is the toxic person in your life right now kind of like Adonis? Has he been so nice, but he's just kind of, you know, went down the wrong path a little bit right now and he's made a couple of mistakes? Or is he just literally just a Jeffrey who's a bad person, who doesn't have to be totally evil, but he's just like a stupid asshole? Is he an asshole? Or is he just someone who's just messed up a bit and he's just been offensive? Because I'm like that. I'm not saying I'm Adonis, but I'm not even a Jeffrey. Maybe I'm like somewhere in the middle. But there's been a bunch of times where, you know, I'm pushing more to Adonis and I'll mess up and I'll say something offensive to a friend without realizing it. I'll say something that kind of hurts their feelings. That happens a lot. So it's like, which one is he? First of all, clarify, is he in the Jeffrey or Adonis category? If he's in the Jeffrey category, then it's very hard. But if he's in the Adonis category and he's just kind of messed up, made a mistake, and, you know, he's been toxic a little bit because maybe he's going through like a breakup and so he's like maybe putting it on you a little bit and he seems apologetic for it, but he's maybe said some like offensive once. If that is the case and this is like an Adonis level friend or relationship or family member, then continue working through it. Literally just straight up go to them, sit them down and say, come on, let's talk about something privately. This is very hard to do. It seems simple, but it's so hard to get the guts to do this. Just pull them aside and say like, I just don't really like the way that you spoke to me about this, and like, I'd wish that you didn't do that because it like ruins our friendship and stuff. You can say this type of stuff to this kind of person they'd understand. Because the thing is, if he is in the Adonis category, he's not going to react to that like a Jeffrey. If anything, he'll react to that like, whoa, thank you so much. I didn't even realize, you know, I was just like so full of like the upcoming exams. I was so stressed about my family member passing away and stuff, so I didn't even realize I was being a bad friend and stuff. I'm sorry. If that was truly an Adonis level person, that's the response you're going to get. But if you consider them to be like an Adonis person, you sat them down and then they're like, oh, shut up, you're a you know what kind of person they are. And so now if you do have more of this Jeffrey person in your life who's being toxic, it's a little bit harder. It's still possible, but I found that most people don't have the guts for this. Maybe you do. What you need to do with this kind of person who you know for a fact is more of a Jeffrey, not only in their behaviors, like they take drugs, they play video games, they're just wasting time, they're not even on self-improvement, they're not even trying to be productive or successful. You know for a fact your life with them is generally going to get worse long term, but you'll have some fun times. Oh yeah, they made you love her. But it's like, this is a Jeffrey relationship and you don't want one of these long term because your potential will just be stripped away from you. You need to make the very hard decision to cut things off. And there's two ways to do this. First of all, you need to agree with this actually and just think to yourself, you know what? This person is not even a good like person to have in my life. I need to cut them off. And just don't cope, don't make excuses, because it's so easy to say, oh no, I would, but this thing. Just first of all, make the statement in your mind. Is that the right protocol? You can tell within an instant, is it the right protocol to cut this person off? When someone's being toxic to you and you also know that that's quite like a low quality person who isn't even successful, who isn't even hardworking, who isn't even encouraging, you know, like there's no point for them to be in your life. And it's so easy right now to say, oh, you know, I would say that, but like we're in school with this. Hold that for a second. Just first of all, we need to clarify, should we cut this person off? If the answer is no, and 100% they're so good for your life, they've just been messed up, well then they're probably in the Adonis category, sit them down, talk to them. But if the answer is yes, and then logistics comes up and it's like, oh, well, how do I do it? Because we're in the same school and we've been friends for so long, so people think it's weird and stuff. There's two ways to do it. One is the harder way, but you'd get so much more respect from everyone, including your future self, including me, which is that you kind of like the Adonis one, you sit them down and just say, I don't respect the things that you've been doing and I don't want to be around someone like that. If you can't change, I'm leaving and I don't want you to speak to me anymore. That's very difficult to do. And to date, I don't really know many people who are like that. But the easier way to do, which it's not the healthy thing to do, but I'm not gonna lie, I've done it before, because sometimes you just don't have like that much confidence to sit down and say to a long-term friend or family member that you're never gonna speak to them again. The second and easier way and faster way is unfortunately just to ghost them. It's not healthy to do, but ghosting them just means, okay, you just literally just slowly drop back, you stop replying to texts, you never ever go and meet them in some like extra event. So, you know, they message you, oh, let's go get some froyo, and you don't reply. Oh, sorry, I was really busy. 2 days later. Oh, hey, like, I've not seen you for a while. What have you been doing? Oh, yeah, man, I've just been really busy, man. I've just been focused on other things. And then you could say, oh, but we're in like the same friendship group. And this is where it gets tricky, because if it was just one singular friend, it's easy. If they're in the same friendship group with the same close family, that makes it so much harder because you have closer ties. And personally, I'm telling you right now, I've had some toxic sort of like instances in the last year or so. And I've been, should I tell you the story? It's a bit personal, but yeah, okay, I will. So I used to have kind of like a group of friends that I was quite close to about like 6 months ago, 9 months ago. We'd all meet for the gym and do all these things. And then I started dating this girl and I brought her into the group and, you know, she made friends with everyone. So we're all good, right? And that's probably not a good idea, because then what happened was that me and this girl, like she just didn't have good energy. She's a very masculine girl. So I took a step back from that relationship, but then we're still in the same friendship group. So we all go out to like, you know, rock climbing and shit. And first of all, being around like a girl that you kind of used to date is just a bit weird. But then being around like the friendship group just made it even more like just awkward and stuff. It just became like another toxic instance of like, yeah, like, you know, you were happy in a friendship group and then you invite a girl into it. Now it's toxic. You know what I mean? It's another one of those. I've had this before. And obviously I've got to take responsibility no matter what kind of person the other people are. It's like, I let this happen into my life. I should have just saw like the red flags in this girl. I shouldn't have like brought her into the friendship group. But essentially what happened was I found myself in a toxic situation where I was in a group of friends which I really liked, but then also now this girl that I was previously dating, which I wasn't dating anymore, was now in the middle of this as well. And so, you know, I tried to navigate it in some good ways and everything, but the truth is the only way that I was able to move on past the situation was to leave the group entirely. Now it made it easier that one of my best friends at the time was also, you know, like a part of this group. He ended up being like a snake and he ended up just like chatting to her in a weird way and everything and speaking shit about me. So it made it easy to think like, oh, okay, you, this girl, like everyone in this group right now, I don't care. So I just dropped out, boom. I like left the scene, left the country now as well. That was in the UK, I'm in Dubai now. And I was just gonna go with a proper ego. Yeah, like I don't think they miss me, but like they're certainly all just fucking living the same kind of lives as it normally is. If you're a man on self-improvement, quite frankly, you know, with these toxic people, the thing is like the good part of like the good boy advice is done there. Yeah, you know, just respect yourself. Now this is advice coming straight from my ego, which I think is important, which no YouTuber or no influencer will ever tell you, bro. I'm speaking directly from my ego. Those people. those people. Sometimes as a young man, you need some aggression in your life to think, man, these people who disrespected me. These people who didn't believe in me. Screw them. I'll have a fantastic life without them. No one will speak to you ever like this before because it's like uncool to speak with a bit of aggression. It's uncool to say that you're a little bit egotistical. But bro, when someone hurts you, when someone is being toxic towards you, like it's so much better for your own mental health to have a bit more of this aggression. And instead of seeing yourself as a victim, to see yourself as a bit more of an aggressor towards them and then towards you. So it's me versus them instead of like them against me. And I'm just like sat here like, yeah, it's so toxic. Oh, now I went to Thailand straight when this situation was getting a little bit. I remember being there training Muay Thai every single day thinking, man, those people back home. I'm taking their souls. They're doing nothing special right now. They're in the exact same gym, doing the exact same things, working the same jobs. I don't think they miss me because they like, especially I won't be insulting, but sometimes you need to think like this. I would highly recommend that you never speak like this. I would highly recommend that you never speak, like, say this to those people, but to your own self, in your own journal, be like this, bro. I've experienced the whole spectrum of the kind of emotions and thoughts that you can have when it comes to like, rejection and toxicity and stuff. And personally, what you want to show to the world is very different. What you want to feel to yourself and maybe to a very, 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 very close friend or family member that you fully 100% trust with your life. To my best friend, Sam, bro, he knows everything. He's seen my whole spectrum of emotions during these situations. To you watching, fair enough, I'll tell you because this is kind of like, it's my mission, it's my purpose to show you the real emotion. But to the real world, to the girl who's been stupid or something, bro, no, to her, I'm like some stoic guy. I don't give a f. She's still texting me when I'm in Thailand. Oh, I don't give a f. I come back from Thailand and that's when things were different. And I realized like this group had just turned into like just against me, even though I created them all together or whatever. The thing is, I can get upset about it. And maybe every now and then it'll enter into my mind like, oh yeah, like the guy who I considered one of my best friends was a little bitch actually. He was quite feminine, wasn't he? Oh yeah, the girl that I was dating, yeah, she was very masculine. It happens. But you can move on. The thing is, it would sound so much more humble and cool and attractive if I ended this video just saying like, oh, I just wish the best for them. I hate this modern day thing where we're not allowed to be men anymore. I just wish the best for everyone. No, that, bro. That. I was in Thailand, I was listening to Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and there's a chapter about taking their souls. In my mind, in my own personal journal, I'm writing, yeah, I'm gonna take their souls. I'm gonna come back from Thailand already surpassed 500k subs. I'm gonna come back from Thailand, 10% body fat, 12% body fat, looking lean. Now we're on 1.4, 1.5 million. I'm in like the best city on earth. Mogged. Took their souls. I'm being the toxic person now, but the thing is, I'm doing it for my own good. There's a difference. When someone's toxic towards you, let's say this is a different example, but something I go through a lot when, my boys come to speak to me. So I do meetups very frequently. If you're in Dubai or if you ever would come down here, you can always have a look and there's like so many meetups, pictures and everything that you want to see. We always just spar and so it's good times, right? And every single time I do meet up, a couple of guys will come to me and want to ask questions about girls and breakups. There will always be a guy who says that he's just been broken up by a girl and he's wondering what he should do. How he should carry himself through the day, through his life now. And I tell him the exact same thing, which I've never said online before because it's gonna make me look bad, but I'm gonna say this for your own livelihood. To the outside world, appear absolutely humble, stoic, calm, happy. I'm just happy that you're okay. I just want you to be happy. Inside of your mind, be a devil. Inside of your mind, think some dark, aggressive thoughts. Get your ass into the gym, build the most muscle that you've ever done before. Get the leanest that you've ever been before. Get the most successful that you've ever been. I promise you, not many people will talk to you like this, but a man's aggression, controlled aggression, is literally the greatest fuel, the greatest energy source out there ever discovered in the entire universe is a man's aggression. There is nothing that can ever compete. Not Elon Musk's Tesla energy systems, not dinosaur fossil fuels. A man's aggression. But you will not show this to them because they'll be happy with this. Like, I've taken a hit here because I'm displaying it online for you to learn. And of course, people who I'm talking about might see and be like, oh yeah, see, he's so toxic. Oh. But you needed to hear this message, so I needed to record and take the hit for myself. Like I said, bro, when you go through these periods where someone's hurt you, someone's been toxic, girls broken up with you, girls rejected you, bro, to the outside world, show them that you're completely calm and happy. But inside, and only inside, unleash that core masculine primal energy that you have to dominate, to destroy, and use that into something productive that you'll actually look back and think, man, I did that. After every breakup, after every rejection, I got better. Every single one. I'm here today, largely not because of like the inspiration and feel good feelings from a girl, but because of the opposite, because of the breakup, because of the toxicity. Because as soon as I got pissed off about someone, I'd go to the gym. This isn't healthy. This isn't, the advice that a lot of people wanted to hear, and so they're gonna get pissed off and think, yeah, I'm just gonna go find some Jeffrey propaganda instead because I just want to feel good. But feeling good as a man isn't that valuable. Feeling angry, feeling pissed off, you will do wonders. On the same note of being pissed off, but not so much about like, you know, toxic people, I just had a memory of like how pissed off I used to be at my state when I was in 2019, a few years ago, and I was working. You probably know this story. I was like working some shit jobs and I just graduated from uni, and I was pissed off at the world because they sold me this lie of like, yeah, go to uni, get a degree, and then you'll just get lots of jobs and they'll be really happy. And I got the degree and looked around and realized that there's no good job available after work customer service. I'm like in work till 6:30 p.m. It's dark. I was pissed off. Literally, I was making £64 per day. That feeling of being pissed off is the reason why I'm here today. It's the reason why I became a leader, a YouTuber, a successful entrepreneur. And this isn't me trying to be egotistical. I'm not speaking from the ego anymore. I'm just speaking from my rational brain. The feeling of being pissed off led me to this point where I've become quite successful because I was pissed off. Sometimes having negative emotions inside of you could be positive if you use them in the right way. If you're pissed off and you're like, oh yeah, man, I'm pissed off at the world, and you throw your Xbox controller to the wall, then you're a pussy at Jeffrey. But if you're pissed off, you're like, man, this is it's annoying. I came back from work one time, late 2019, to the apartment that my girl was in. I'm walking up to the apartment, looking through the window, like, you know, from like a while away, trying to look through the window, seeing if maybe she's getting as I walk over there. Can't wait to walk inside and smoke weed straight away. I go upstairs into the apartment. She's not getting by anyone, but of course I had like bad thoughts, right? Start smoking, look for some food, there's nothing. We had weed, we had money for weed, but we were so broke that there was literally no food in the fridge. We couldn't order any. You don't, like, that's one of the most times I've been pissed off. I've never ever like fully shouted towards a girl before, but I got so pissed off that, okay, I've been in work for the last 9 hours. I went to work at like 6 a.m. to the office to like go to the gym first and everything. I've just come back. It's like 7 p.m. I've got 2 hours before I need to like wake up again so I can wake up early enough for the gym. I got so pissed off and fed up at the world. What do you think I did? It's 7 p.m. It's pitch black outside. You know, it's very dark. It's nighttime in UK. Okay, I'm gonna go run to the gym right now. I run to the gym in the dark and go hit a workout, an extra workout. I could have just sat there, oh man, yeah, I've just been abusive towards my girl. Oh yeah, go throw my little weed stash like at the door or some shit. Yeah, it's so hard. No, use that feeling of like being pissed off. If you do have it inside of you, use it in a productive manner. I don't know if it was a good idea for me to go into this rant for the last few minutes, because I know it's going to destroy a lot of people's perceptions of me, because it'd be so nice for me to just say, yeah, you know, I'm so humble, I'm so happy. Like, you know, if my exes are happy, then I'm happy. No, take their souls, mock them. Click and watch this video right now, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.